Manhwa and webtoons are both South Korean creations that have caught the curiosity of people worldwide. Tower of God and God of High School, both popular manhwa, became Crunchyroll Originals, and were the first hyped-up manhwa-to-anime adaptations. Manhwa, regardless of language, may capture the interest of many admirers, and much more so if set in a fantasy setting. With the rise of manhwa in the animated world, there may be certain manhwa that fans loved reading and may have a possibility of being adapted into an anime. Here are the top 10 manhwa of all time. Number 10, Cheese in the Trap. Cheese in the Trap follows Hong Sol, a hard-working and humble student who is returning to her studies after a long break as the recipient of a prestigious university scholarship. There, she gets involved with a senior, Yu Young, who would have received the scholarship if it weren't for her, and her already difficult life seems to take a turn for the worse. To everyone else, Jung is known as Mr. Perfect, and he has no qualms about manipulating his admirers to get what he wants. By giving Sol his attention, he unwittingly makes her the target of envy and malice, threatening to disrupt her precarious balance and throwing her right into a love triangle that will tear at the reader's heartstrings. Number 9, Anarasu Manara. There is a rumor that a magician lives in the tent by the abandoned theme park. Some even say his magic is real. However, before he starts his show, he always asks his audience, "Do you believe in magic?" For Yunehi, magic seems like a distant memory. Faced with the harsh reality of poverty, she spends all her time studying, working, and taking care of her younger sister in the absence of their parents. She no longer believes in the wonders of magic, just like her skeptical classmate Na Il Daeung, who has been brought up to believe that a good education is the only way to approach life. When Ahi stumbles into the abandoned theme park and has a chance encounter with the magician, her life is changed forever. Anarasu Manara reveals a philosophical, heartwarming, and thought-provoking story of what it means to grow up into the person you want to be. Number 8, Omniscient Reader. Kim Dokya does not consider himself the protagonist of his own life. Befitting the name his parents gave him, he is a solitary person whose sole hobby is reading web novels. For over a decade, he has lived vicariously through Yu Young Hyuk, the main character of the web novel 3 Ways to Survive the Apocalypse, TWSA. Through Young Hyuk, Dokya has experienced secondhand the trials of repeatedly regressing in time, in search of an end to life-threatening scenarios that force people to act out narratives for the amusement of godlike constellations. After reading 3,149 chapters, long after all other readers lost interest, Dokya finally resigns himself to the story ending. However, he receives an enigmatic message from the author, stating that the story will soon be monetized, before his surroundings suddenly go dark. He swiftly realizes that fiction has become reality and he is now living through TWSA. Although he is the singular omniscient reader of the events yet to come, his success in the scenarios is not guaranteed, but perhaps his advantage will empower him to step into the protagonist role that never suited him before. Number 7, The Legend of the Northern Blade. For decades, the brave warriors of the Northern Heavenly Sect fought to keep the world safe from the evil Silent Knight. But when the 4th-generation leader is accused of colluding with the enemy, he is forced to disband the sect and commit suicide to protect his son, Mu-won. With no family and allies left, Mu-won leads a dreary life under close surveillance. Until a surprise attack from the Silent Knight gives him a chance to escape to the mountains. There, the young warrior trains to master the fighting techniques of his predecessors, before the mysterious disappearance of a loved one brings him back to the mainland. Follow Mu-won as he embarks on a journey to avenge his father's death and take down the villains who threaten to plunge the world into darkness. Number 6, Windbreaker. The main character of Windbreaker, Jay, not only gets perfect grades but is also the student body president. He spends his time focusing on his studies and is on a straight and narrow path to what he has been taught as success. But that's only until he is roped into joining the school's biking team, the Hummingbird Crew, where he discovers that there is more to life than textbooks and equations. With sleek artwork and a seriously addictive storyline, Windbreaker will have you racing through the chapters while delivering a healthy motivational boost to brighten anyone's day. Number 5, Who Made Me a Princess? In the novel The Lovely Princess, the secondary character Athanasia de Algerobelia is the most pitiful of all. Her mother died in childbirth and her father, Emperor Claude, never gave his daughter even an inch of love. Forever yearning for even the slightest bit of parental love, she was ultimately framed for a crime and executed by the orders of her beloved father. When a woman from modern-day Korea falls asleep with some sleeping pills, she later awakens in the infant body of Athanasia. Knowing the unenviable fate that awaits her, she resolves to remain out of her tyrannical father's sight so that she may never incur his wrath. However, fate isn't so kind, and she meets him at only 5 years of age. With her original plan tossed out of the window, she now aims to endear herself so much to her father that he would never dream to hurt her. However, as many work toward their own ends, her plan is thrown into chaos. Athanasia's biological sister Jeanette Margarita longs for a family, high-ranking nobility vie for power, and a shadow from Claude's past threatens to destroy everything he holds dear. Number 4. The Horizon. In a world ravaged by war, a young boy walks down a lonely road in the aftermath of his mother's death. Along his journey, he witnesses military tanks, dead bodies, and his beloved city in ruins. With eyes clouded by anguish, he pushes himself to keep moving forward. One morning, he meets a girl in an abandoned bus where he spent the night. Moments after their encounter, the area turns into a battlefield, and the pair escapes into a long abandoned lane. The two strangers decide to walk together to the end of the road, thus beginning a companionship that will ignite new hope inside their shriveled hearts. Number 3. Bastard. There is nowhere that Seon Jin can find solace. At school, he is ruthlessly bullied due to his unsettlingly quiet nature and weak appearance. However, this is not the source of Jin's insurmountable terror. The thing that he fears more than anything else is his own father. To most, Jin's father is a successful businessman, good Samaritan, and doting parent. But that is merely a facade. In truth, he is a deranged serial killer, and Jin is his unwilling accomplice. For years, they have been carrying out this ruse with the police being none the wiser. However, when his father takes an interest in the pretty transfer student Yoon Kyun, Jin must make a decision: be the coward who sends her to the gallows like all the rest, or be the bastard of a son who defies his wicked parent. Number 2. The Breaker. Yi Shayun Shiwun's everyday life at Nine Dragons High School, which consists of beatings from fellow student Ho Chang and his gang, is far from ideal. But one day, a mysterious man named Han Chun-woo spots one of these beatings and instead of offering support, brands Shayun a coward for refusing to fight back, adding insult to injury. To Shayun's surprise, he finds out that Chun-woo is the new substitute English teacher at his school. Tired of the daily abuse, Shayun decides to enroll at a martial arts academy to learn how to defend himself. On the way there, he stumbles upon Chun-woo in a predicament, cornered in an alley by a group of angry men. Provoked, Chun-woo suddenly dispatches them using martial arts techniques, which Shayun covertly records. Later, he uses this recording to blackmail Chun-woo into teaching him to defend himself. Reluctantly, Chun-woo agrees, and Shayun is soon thrust into the world of martial arts, known as Murim. However, Shayun is naive and unaware of his master's shady past and the unseen underbelly of society. How will Chun-woo manage to teach Shayun and help him survive in the world of Murim? Before we move on to our number 1 pick, let's pull these honorable mentions off of our shelves. Number 1. Solo Leveling. When portals that connect the human and monster worlds begin to appear, a portion of humanity, known as hunters, starts to develop superhuman powers to preserve the balance of the world. Sung Jin-woo, the protagonist of Solo Leveling, has the lowest and weakest rank of all, yet he finds himself trapped in a dungeon and must fight together with his companions to escape. But that's not all. Jin-woo's powers have not reached their full potential just yet, making this a particularly addictive take on the classic hero's journey. And there you have it, top 10 manhwa of all time. And that's been it. Thank you for watching. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.